I was an OBS.
I refreshed it. It looks like we're back up, I think, are we?
If we are, technical difficulties, guys.
Oh no, it's just we're back live now. Right, so now that we're back, apologies to anyone who's tuned in there and lost the stream. We have unfortunately dropped back to 0 viewers here, so it is I'm not sure what happened there. It just cut. So anyway, we're back. So welcome back. You were about to make a comment there. I think both of you are actually going to make a point.
Yeah, I was just tracking the NBA there. So Magic are up by 3 points midway through the second quarter. They're 50-47 to the good. Vucevic is 9 points still. I'm surprised he actually hasn't scored that 10 point, but it's absolutely in the bag, and he's 3 rebounds now. So that's looking decent.
Yeah, very good. I think if anyone might have missed us, that Benevento had scored, which was a great boost for us. We haven't backed it 4-1, so that's pretty impressive. Impressive for us anyway. And you were going to make a point there as well, Gary, I think.
No, I wasn't. I'd made the point just about the League of Ireland, the entertaining game. So,
oh, yeah, it's good. It's the league does need that kind of exposure.
Yeah, definitely. In the French Cup, like PSG started the match at something like 2-5, and they're nearly touching even money now. After 20 minutes, so that's one to keep an eye on. You might get a juicy price around PSG at half time. It remains 0-0. I haven't been watching the game now, so I don't know how it's going. Obviously, it can't be going too well for PSG if the price is drifting, but they have no men sent off, and obviously it's still 0-0. Gonna check their lineup now, but I'd be fairly sure they'd have a strong lineup. It's not as if they'd be saving any players for like other campaigns, really.
I can see the lineup. I mean, Di Maria and Neymar are both on. Like,
yeah.
The game stats. It looks like there's not much going on. There's not, there's very few attacks or that many shots. The only shot on target has come from PSG. So there's nothing to suggest, that their odds have changed that drastically. Like.
Yeah, so
obviously those stats don't give you the whole picture. Like, maybe they are being dominated. Maybe,
While you're looking at stats there, Slats, can you just check the stats in the Chievo-Pescara game?
Yeah, let me have a look.
I have both teams to score in that in one of the bets, and I just got worried for a moment that it might be. It's one of those ones that if results go right elsewhere, they could need a draw. A draw might suit both of them.
Right. So they might be going.
It's a bit risky for Pescara. Oh no, there you go. No, they're trying anyway. There seems to be going.
Yeah, there was just a shot off target there from Kiev. So they look to be on top of it. They've had four shots, only one on target.
That's kind of good. If Chievo score, Pescara will have to come out because there'll be a bit of risk there if they don't draw it at least. So good. There's been two potential red. Now neither of them were. But 2 potential red cards, kind of, the referee taking his time thinking about them, tackles in the Frosinone game. So I really hope there's a goal in this before the referee gets excited with his cards.
Yeah, plenty of time now. But said in the next 15 minutes, we want a couple of goals in those 0-0s. You don't want to be going into half time with the amount of 0-0s that are still there. So if we can get 3 or 4 more goals in a few of those 0-0s, I think the over 1.5 bet anyway, which, as I said, was kind of my staple bet. That will look good. And I say that Consenza and Juve Stabia has gone suspended, so that could be going to. It's over. So Juve Stabia have got one back, so that's over 2.5 in. And it looks like Salentina have taken the lead against Spezia as well.
Is that it looks like, or they have?
They have now, yeah. It's been. I just saw their odds go to 1-4, but it's come up now. So they're 1-0 up. So said a few goals there. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 0-0s at the minute. I said another 1 or 2 goals in those games, and the over 1.5 has a chance going into the second half. I do need PSG to get a move on though if I'm to get my kicker, but your 7-1 that you called out there, Liam, will have a chance.
That's looking very good, and the long goals one that I mentioned at the start. We have
Benevento 2-0 now, did you?
Oh, they are indeed lovely stuff.
Nice one.
I mean, I honestly would love to be able to just have a quick chat with the guy who priced them up before the one, because I want to know what shifts he's going to be working in future, and back Benevento those nights. Yeah, but you mentioned it on the one last night, Gary. You said that if these were English teams or English games, very much so because of the attention they'd be getting as well, just from punters. But if these were English matches, there's no way in the world, like Liverpool at home to like Astley are mid-table. Where are they? Let me just check the table here to just not say.
Well, you just have to look at Liverpool Newcastle last game of the season. So, like, it's a fairly similar scenario. Liverpool have run away with the league. Benevento run away with the league. Liverpool away from home. Benevento away from home. Mm-hmm. Probably Astley, where are they?
Astley are 14th, so actually could be exactly the same as Newcastle.
Yeah, so it's a very good comparison. And if memory serves me correctly, Liverpool were like 2-5 or something on the last day of the season.
Yeah,
and you're getting 4-1 on Benevento. That's a massive difference. PSG,
but it's comical. Like, it's not even like it's slightly different. It's like absolutely. I just don't understand it. But
yeah, I don't understand it either. As you said, it's probably just there's a football trader there, and or else the football trader's on holiday, and one of the other traders has been asked to price it up, has looked at it and just taken a punt that Benevento won't be interested. So.
Oh, very, very close for Frosinone to score there as well. Great free kick. It was a great curler, but it just curled that little bit too much and a couple of inches wide of the post in the end. But a Frosinone goal. I mean, I backed Pisa, but for the goals bets, a Frosinone goal there would have been a nice boost. This match is so open. I mentioned earlier that Frosinone are kind of, they're not exactly defending the way you'd stereotypically imagine an Italian team to defend. They're just all over the place, kind of manic a bit. So I can see this game, obviously there's no goal yet, but if there is a goal, I can see it rapidly opening up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to change the channel here because the Irish game has gone to half-time, so I'm going to try and get PSG and Lyon up. You just think I'm uninterested in what's being said, that's not the case.
So Vucevic just got another assist for himself. He's tipping away there nicely with his 9 points. Or not assists, rather. He did get another assist, but he's got 4 rebounds and 2 assists. So he's still looking well on course for a double-double. And Magic are leading by 4 points. There's still 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, so a bit away to halftime. It's funny when you're jumping from soccer to basketball, and if it was 2 minutes to halftime in a soccer match, you're like, much there, nothing more is going to happen here. But
yeah.
It could be like 12 points now before we actually get there. 12 points, and in real time, it could be another 5 minutes before we actually get through these 2 minutes.
That's the one that's always surprised me. I remember when I first started watching basketball with an American mate of mine, and you get down to like the last 90 seconds, and the team would be 8 points ahead, and you just write it off because you're used to the kind of sports that we have here. And for them, 8 points could be like 15 seconds of play. Like, it's nothing. Because they're so good at sort of clock management and they, timeouts and all sorts of other stuff.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many different kind of options they have of moving the ball around and taking fouls and that sort of thing. They can rack up a good few points. The tactics getting to the end of the match are kind of, you really want to know what's going on, like, because they make all these calls and changes. And
if you're an amateur gambler and I'd include myself on that list, and you go onto the exchange and it's like there's only 35 seconds left and they're 4 points clear, and you'd lump on them because they're 1-2. You think, what a price, and then all of a sudden it just unravels.
But in terms of backing players to beat their own point spread and to beat their own rebound spread and assist spreads, it's good because you'd be looking at it and you go, geez, this bet is dead and buried, and the next thing they come out with 10 or 12 points just in the last 2 minutes. it's unreal the way they can turn things around.
So the Juve Stabia game is going suspended again there, guys. Anybody got a view on what's happening there?
Let me just jump in. I wasn't watching it. What was the score the last time we saw? Cosenza 2-1 up.
It was 2-1, yeah.
For me, it's no longer suspended.
No, it's not suspended for me either. Do we need any more on that, though? Was it not just both teams to score and over 2.5?
In one of my bets, I did over 3.5.
Okay.
So another goal there would be nice.
Yeah, I might have an over 3.5 as well, but that many bets on that.
Was there a handball? If there was VAR in the Serie B, very much might have been a penalty replay there. It was just too hard to see on my screen, but a guy kind of shirked out of he went to take a cross and then sort of sidestepped the tackle, and the tackler just completely threw his arm out in the air and caught the ball, but I'm not sure if he caught him at the upper chest or in the top of the arm. But looking at the way VAR has been lately, it probably would have been a penalty just because. This game is unbelievably open. Looking at another goal here. What price is another goal in the Cosenza game? It is 11-5 for another first half goal, 1-10 for a goal overall. I mean, I wouldn't be laying that 1-10 under any circumstances.
Yeah, what have we got left? We've probably got 9-10 minutes left in the games before half time.
Yeah, so this Juve game is 37 minutes gone, 37 and a half.
They're all in around that, yeah, 38 minutes, the rest of them.
Oh, Frosinone have had so many chances. I think Pisa could be a weak link in the bet that I mentioned, but Frosinone have had a couple. I know you mentioned the stats were in Pisa's favour, Slats, but so far...
Oh, it's completely swung the other way.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't quite balanced out, but Pisa have had nothing.
Frosinone are playing manically. Like, that's the only word I can think of to describe it.
It's a good description, though.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Cheers.
Half time now in the NBA, and Magic are leading by 10 points, so that's on track for the win. Vucevic got his 10 points. He's scored 11 points now, so that part of the doubles in the bag. He's up to 5 rebounds, so he's halfway there with the rebounds, and he has 2 assists just in case he was going to make a triple double for himself. But rebounds.
Those triple doubles are pretty rare, aren't they? Or are they?
There's you'd see them occasionally, but not often. The double doubles players are putting them in every week. There's certain players that would be on course. They'd be making plenty of assists. They'd be getting a good handful of triple doubles a season. Like, you can actually get a syncoplet double, a 5-time double. But I think it's only been in the women's NBA that's actually occurred.
What are the 5 categories?
Oh, don't ask me that. It's points, rebounds, assists. The other 2, since I've started betting on it, they've never come into question. I think it's steals and blocks are the other 2.
Yeah.
So if
you get double digits in those, that's unbelievable dominance. Every part of the court, yeah.
I can imagine it happening in these high school games where, some fellas just hit puberty a bit earlier and he just is dominating every match, just about 3 foot taller than everyone else on the court, and everyone's just there to see him. But once it's a bit more balanced at the kind of top level, they're not going to see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's time to give up as a team if you're letting somebody score like that against us. Perugia gone suspended for me here, Liam.
Let me see it.
Let's hope for a Perugia goal.
They were being dominated.
No, the ref is talking to someone here.
Don't need to be a downer, Dave.
Sorry, I was just trying to soften the blow.
Oh, I think it's a penalty.
Come on.
I think it's a penalty to Venezia. It's one of those handballs. Oh, it's so hard to say. The ball was crossed over to the back of the box, and the guy volleyed it, and the defender turned out of the way, but as he turned, it kind of caught his hand. So he didn't really... It was definitely unintentional, but he effectively caught the ball. So,
while I'm disappointed for you, I'm inside kind of happy because one of the halves is ticking along nicely.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I've got enough goals bets myself, so I take it, but it's unfortunate.
And you need both teams to score anyway, Eddie, right? So, been very glass half full about it. That's just their goal.
Yeah. Venezia are 3-0 up, so if Perugia do have to come back.
I needed to have the score anyway.
And he buries the penalty. Well, actually, buries is the wrong word. He kind of passed it into the middle of the goal. So, right, that's
the 3-0 nils. We need at least one more goal before half time, I think, in either Pescara, Pisa, or Crotone game. So,
and talked up Pisa, it wouldn't surprise me at all. You're kind of watching it, Elby. Still, are you? If it's frozen on out here.
Yeah, I just went off it there to catch the Perugia penalty. Let me go back and check what the.
Got a few more chances there now. Again, like they've just been racking up pressure the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
The games are tight though, like, you know. I mean, Benevento, the only one leading by more than a goal, like, you know.
Mm. But this Frosinone game, if there's a goal in it, if Frosinone are still even money now, that's looking like a good price. They're Pisa lads look bet.
Because I did do a bet, kind of an out there one, but I was thinking again along the lines of the games being tight and to have an interest for as long as possible. So I did a draw in Venezia Perugia, a draw in the Cittadella game, a draw in the Pisa game, a draw in the Pescara game, and then Pordenone and Spezia to win. So obviously I need Spezia to come back, but the rest of them are obviously
looking good, yeah.
So, yeah, they're in with a chance. So
what odds is that? That must be about 200 to 1 or something, is it?
It's massive. It's 470 to 1.
471, Jesus. Yeah.
So I've a fiver on it, and there's a Paddy Power do a 10% bonus. So if it wins, it'd be £2,579.82p, which wouldn't be a bad Friday night's work, you know. So I'm even happy that I've got to this stage and there's only one team kind of letting me down at the minute.
Yeah, like if you'd gone for the Benevento game, for example, you'd be just sick, you know what I mean?
Yeah. As you said, a Spezia goal kind of either before half time or early in the second half just opens the whole like back up, you know. So
the Trapani game, and I've got a 440 to 1 here as well, very similar to yours, but just about goals. But I've gone 3.5 in the Trapani game. And that's 0-0, so that's probably going to kill that. We need some early goals in the second half to give that any hope. But the rest of it's looking...
And plenty of the shots in both directions in that match, like...
Yeah. I'm over here looking at...
Quite unlucky there hasn't been a goal there yet, looking at those, the goal, the dangerous attacks and the shots on and off target stats.
Perugia nearly gave away another penalty there. He just shoved some guy over in the box. If it was outside the box, it's a free... all day in any league at any level. The ball was coming across, the defender was behind the forward, and he just shoved him in the back, 2 hands on his back. For some reason, I think the ref just didn't want to give a penalty 90 seconds after he gave the first penalty. But so keeps the Perugia win bet still on the table.
Benevento has gone suspended again. You'd be kicking yourself now that you have them back 3-0 up, like, you know.
Yeah, I've actually got.
Frustrating that we didn't back them.
I couldn't believe the price when I saw it.
So did you do a bet, just a single bet on that as well, yeah?
No, unfortunately, I was a little bit under pressure. I mean, that was one of the ones, you get excited with the big Accas on the Friday. That was definitely one that should have been just... You'd be laughing now if you had that back. 3-0 up at half-time, game over.
Yeah. The 0-0s are been such a killer to my bets, like, you know. Could really do with a goal or two in those games. Venezia Perugia has gone suspended again. Liam, are you seeing anything there?
We see it now. Oh, it could have... Penalty to Perugia, I believe. Or has he gone to the corner? Or has he given the goal? Let me see this.
It looks like a corner to me, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's given the corner.
In a corner.
What?
There's a big difference between a penalty and a corner.
The ref threw out his hand. The ball looked like it hit a guy in the arm, but it was nothing in it really. Would have been a harsh penalty. But the players all reacted like it was. So we'll see the corner now.
God, it doesn't look like there's much going on in that French Cup match at all.
I'm watching it here. Lyon actually are kind of on top. They just won a corner. So yeah, It's not the most entertaining game I've ever watched, but there is a little bit of life in it. Actually, Thiago Silva very nearly put the ball in his own net there. So, it was one of those where the ball's been crossed in and he had to go for it. Lucky enough, puts it out for a corner. Spezia have just equalised, so that kind of opens up that mad 470 to 1 bet. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with how that's going at the minute.
Against Atlantier, that's another over 1.5 in as well.
Yeah. So
Trapani suspended.
Yeah, Crotone have gone 1-0 up.
Oh, ideal.
And the other two games have gone to half time. So Pescara and Pisa.
Crotone goal has been disallowed.
Oh, yeah.
No. That's a killer now.
That just got half time as well. That would have been
it would have been lovely, Would have been really, really good.
Yeah, what a shame. I just got such a rush of excitement there. Right. Drifting towards half time now on all of these. So we got 3 in the 6 fold that I did of over 1.5.
All there in the Citadella game. I don't know if that makes any difference to anyone.
Yeah, because I have. Oh no, Citadella. No.
What was that? Sorry.
2-2.
2-2. I think that's one of my draws. Yeah, that's one I have for a draw. So at half time, I'm like a Pordione and Spezia goal away from that $2.5 bet coming in. Now there's a long way to go still, but really chuffed with that.
Yeah. But looking at these games in the first half, Cosenza has gone suspended, but we had 3 goals in that. Spezia game 2 goals, Cremonese 2, Citadella 4, Benevento 3. There's goals all over the place. But like last week, we just slightly more equitable spread now would have us in a lot better position.
Yeah. But it's still I think we said this last week as well, like there's always hope in this league. So if we can get a couple more goals soon enough, that'd be soon after half time, that would be good.
Yeah.
Have you looked at any of the race in action tomorrow, Lynn, since we're going to half time?
Just before we go to that, I'm watching the Trapani Crotone game here. It's half time and the guys are walking back to the changing rooms or whatever temporary changing rooms they might be using. I've never seen a walk as long for a professional team to get back to the dressing room. I'd say they're walking.
So what? They're not using the normal stadiums?
I don't know. I don't know where the normal dressing rooms are, but I'd have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're walking to some temporary thing.
Right.
Absolutely miles away. You mentioned the racing, Gary. No, I actually haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Kind of preoccupied with the Serie B, so I don't have any selections really. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I've got no bets. What about you?
I have a couple picked out. As I said to you, or I said at the start, I think tomorrow could be a play spot day. The first race is a 17 runner handicap. The fourth race is a 25, 26 runner handicap. Could even be 28 runner handicap.
I'm looking at it here as 28, yeah.
28. The second race is kind of a marathon, not a marathon, but it's over a mile and 6. Usually turns into a slog. There's only 10 in that, but it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility for a couple of outsiders to get involved in that. Usually they do show up. So there seems to be, there's only one real odds-on favourite. That's any bar in the third race, and even at that, I think that there's an Aidan O'Brien runner in there, Snow, that could definitely pull it up. Cabaletta, who's a Roger Varian horse in that race, is another that if you watch the way it won the last time out, it should have never been able to run around green around the place and still won. So I think that there's definitely potential tomorrow for a place where you probably have to put any bar in there.
But that's one that you picked that out. It's funny because that's what we were looking at during the week. Is that so you mentioned these 28 runner handicaps and stuff like that, and I'd have to see. I haven't really been looking at them, but the smaller races seem to, in my, there's no stats behind this. I was just looking at it as opposed to any kind of statistical studying of it. But those small fields where you only have one, like win only or win place, seem to have the biggest dividends because people go on the favourite a lot. So you got, three places is a much smaller chance that the favourite or second favourite will miss out on third spot. But if it's win only and he gets beaten by a head, there could still be 60-70% of the lines gone on. Any odds on favourite's going to get that sort of percentage of the pot.
Yeah, I think that even if anywhere gets in, so that's why I would say that you need to do two lines in that race, is that even if the favourite places in that race, there's enough of a spread in the first and the fourth race to knock a lot of people out if it goes the right way.
Yeah.
It's winner only in that race, is it?
It might be top two. No, five. It'd be win only. I'd say.
Yeah. There's only 4 horses, so yeah, it's win.
Is it 4? I thought it was 5. Oh, sorry.
I like what you were saying, LB, with the if there's 2 or 3. Do you remember that dividend that ended up paying like $2.50?
Yeah.
But we had backed a few of the kind of outsiders who there was one race in particular. The fellow we went with won the race, and then the favourite snuck in second place, odds on like 4-9 or something, and he still got the place. But we had picked the winner, like
yeah.
Race after favourite came in third spot, like same thing.
Yeah, this one is actually strange for a 4 horse. Well, not strange. It's different during the week. Like it's 8-11, 7-2, 5-1, 7-1. So it's fairly closely, tightly priced up there. You look at some of those and you'll have an odds-on favourite, and the 4th horse in that race would be like 25s or even 30s to 1. So this is, it's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch.
Right.
That O'Brien horse you mentioned, Gary Snow, is 5-1. You think that's a worthwhile bet, or just keep an eye on it?
I don't know whether I'd recommend betting on it. I think I'll have to have another look. I haven't really looked at that race because I've been looking at, like, the handicaps are kind of my thing. That's where I usually do better than in kind of the group races, because especially they're my type of prices. Like in the group race or the listed races, you usually get faves that are like 5-4, 6-4, or whatever. So any bars like 11, it's not something. I can't see myself going down and sticking 1,100 quid on it to win 800, but I can see myself going down and sticking 25 each way on 25 to 1 shot to potentially win whatever I pay, like 600-700 quid. So I haven't really looked through the race in depth, but I do think that A-bar could be vulnerable. We have to have the place spot. In the ones I have looked through, the first race, Call Me Ginger, 8-1. Or in around 8-1, it stands out as a decent bet. So like this race, the Stewards Sprint is a lot easier than the Stewards Cup, which is the big handicap, the 28 runner handicap. And one of the horses that's close to favoritism in that, Meras, just beat Call Me Ginger last time out. Seems like a horse that has been, like, it's been steadily improving. Looks like this race could have been on its radar for a while. So I think I'll definitely have a bet on him in the first, try and get off to a good start. In the big race, in that Stewards Cup, I have a real dilemma because there's a lot of heart versus heads scenarios going on here. Like there's 6 or 7 of these horses that I've backed that have won for me, like, at decent odds. So the likes of Summergans, like, Liam, how much I rate that horse. I backed Gulliver last time out. And there's a couple more, Mr. Lupton, George Bowen. There's a lot of them, Brian the Snail. They're all kind of old favourites of mine. I do think that George Bowen,
Gulliver is 16-1.
Yeah. George Bowen is 28-1. And basically his run two runs ago was very good. And then he ran last week at York and stead in the gate and gave out the 5-length leads to the rest of it. So the race was over from the gates. So I think that he could potentially run a massive race, but it's really he'll be first or last. That's the thing about him. But he's someone that I'll probably have a bet on because he's 28-1 now. You probably get 33s, 50s, I don't know. I'm looking at Sky Bet here. Bet365 are usually a lot higher than Sky Bet, so you probably get 50-1 on Sky Bet about George Bowen.
You were kind of talking about that what was his name, Bloomer horse in the same kind of vein. How did he end up running today?
He went off in 22s anyway.
Yeah, if you look at the result, she finished last, Bloomer, but she ran a big race for a long way and then kind of just blew up going into the last furlong.
But you had kind of predicted that was a likely outcome, even when you were sort of suggesting you might get on it.
Yeah, so, and as I said, it was only a small bet that I had on it. You're right, George Bowen is in the same category as Boomer. If he shows up and brings his A game, has a chance. But yeah, so I think my bets in that are going to have a small bet on George Bowen. And I'm going to have a bit of a bigger bet on Hey Jonesy. He's another one that needs to, you need to catch on a good day, but I think he could run a big race. So
is this in Galway now, or are you avoiding Galway? Goodwood again.
So yeah, they're two that are sticking out, but I really need to look at it again in a bit more detail. 28 runners, I haven't had a chance to go through it. So if I do change my mind, look out at the Twitter feed. So at Bet Banking tomorrow morning, and I'll post up my final selections. It's a lot of runners to get through, so I haven't quite got through them at the minute. But there are two that are sticking out to me at the minute.
What time does the racing start there? Around lunchtime sort of thing?
First race is just before 2 o'clock, so 10 to 2.
Okay.
So then the place call races are the first. How many 6 races? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 6 races, so it's up to 6:40, and then there's a 5:10, or sorry, 16:40 is a 5:10. So it's decent afternoon of entertainment. I'll be on the golf course for the first couple of races, so while I'm hoping for a shout, I won't be able to shout too much.
I can see Magic are up by 19 points now, 82-13, early enough in the third quarter, so they're starting to get a bit of daylight, which wasn't surprising. It's one thing when an NBA squad have most of their kind of starters injured, they'll have a second wave of players that'll be able to compete. But it's when you need to then rotate those players, with your kind of third layer of your squad, that they're just not going to compete with the Magic bench. I'd say the 2 benches. I haven't looked at the bench head to head, but I'd say that's a good part of it. That gap is widening now. And Vucevic is up to 16 points. He's 5 rebounds and 5 assists. So he doesn't tend to get 10 assists, double-digit assists, but I'm hoping for a few rebounds out of him. There's still plenty of time. There's 2/3 of the third quarter left, and then the full 4 quarters. So he's still looking on course for that.
So there's a bit of a lull in the excitement with all the games going to half-time. I think the League of Ireland game has started back, so I'm going to try and flick over to that here. I don't know, has anybody got an insight into how those games are going? Because that treble is still looking okay. Obviously the first leg of it is in with both teams to score.
This is the League of Ireland treble?
Yeah.
Let me tell you here now. So it is Athlone 1, Wexford 2, Bray, Cove 0-0, Galway losing 1-0 to Cabinteely, and UCD Longford 0-0. Okay,
so it needs a Longford goal and a Galway goal, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility. So
not bad. See if there's any stats on this Galway game. No. No.
That PSG game went to halftime 0-0.
Yeah, PSG actually nearly scored right like just before half time.
So they had a few chances, all right, yeah.
The guy, what's his name? Idrissa Gana Gay, is it? He used to play for Everton, centre midfielder, kind of defensive midfielder. He hit like a rocket from about 35 yards. That I think the keeper just tipped over. The keeper just tipped it over, or it just kind of went a few inches over the bar. But yeah, that was the best kind of chance that I saw watching it. There wasn't many clear-cut chances, but it got a little bit open the last kind of 10-15 minutes. So the second half should be a bit better. So
they should be all kicking off now any moment. We're actually a minute behind schedule here now, even for the games with injury time. So waiting for them to come back. I just flicked over onto the Trapani game, and I saw the ball get knocked into the back of the net, and I was delighted. Then I realised it was the ghost goal that got disallowed. So I thought, it's twice now I've suffered for that goal not being given.
Yeah, it's mad the way they sometimes do that. Like, you know, and a couple of times on Betfair where I've gone into a game that's suspended, it showed me a goal that happened in the first half. It's pretty strange, like.
Yeah.
I didn't put any bet in it, but the Grizzlies are just starting against the Blazers in 5 minutes. That game is about to get underway. In the Western Conference, they're like 8th and 9th place. Before the lockdown and stuff, the two of them were playing pretty decent. They were both on good foot. So if they keep that up, it should be a decent game. Blazers are favourites for it. They're currently in 9th, and they probably need it more. They probably are the better team, but Grizzlies have young blood in the team. Ja Morant, who's been on fire this season, he's probably in contender for Rookie of the Year. There's a few other decent players there. Bit of a surprise package. They didn't have a great start to the season, but they've kind of come good, and they're good for that 8th spot. But you know, Portland are the same. Really, they're both nearly deserving of it, but it looks like the Mavericks are too far ahead for them to fall out of that. So it's between the Grizzlies and the Blazers to pick up that last spot. Should be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And are they gonna just be having a couple of games each evening, or like how's the fixture list kind of work?
It's a fairly busy schedule. Like there's 2 games kicking off in a few minutes' time. Then the Celtics play the Bucks at 20-12. That should be another decent game. I'd be interested to see how the Bucks. They've probably been the best team in either conference so far, but it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. I think that might be first versus third in that conference, or even first versus second. And then at midnight, midnight, the Lakers are playing again.
Just while you're looking at that, I find it's bizarre how none of these games kick back off nearly a full 10 minutes after they were due to. And I don't think it might be is that because they're all so dependent on each other's results, they'll all kick off at the same time.
Oh, right. They really have to wait until everyone's ready.
I'm looking at the Cosenza game here, and both sets of 11 are out on the pitch, and they're just kicking the ball around amongst Cosenza amongst the Cosenza players, and Stabby against with their own players.
There was one of those games. I think it was the Cittadella game had 5 minutes injury time, and then there was a goal in that injury time, so that would have probably pushed it down another minute or two.
Yeah, that is what it is, because you couldn't if you know that, those games, like especially that Frosinone game and the games down at the bottom, if you know that the team below you is drawn, if that game ends 5 minutes before your game, it completely changes your.
It makes sense. I just don't recall seeing it happen before. Certainly not in the Premier League.
No. Maybe there's a little bit more of a question mark around the.
It happens in Champions League, doesn't it? I'm fairly sure it happens in Champions League.
It used to, but they've changed all the times of those now, haven't they, to be more TV friendly? I think that's kind of gone out the window.
I think that no, the last round of games all start at the same time.
Oh, the last round of the group stages, maybe.
Yeah. I'm very sure.
Oh no, that's fair enough. But that they actually make them wait for the second half to kick off. Like,
Well, if you had, like, if one of the games hadn't kicked off yet, like say because it was the games that had 5 minutes and then a goal in that 5 minutes, you could be into 50 odd minutes now in a different game.
yeah.
So they could be completely different timelines by the end of this, So
And then you could have teams trying to kind of delay things, delay them.
I'm just trying to look out here at the
games.
Yeah, Chievo and Pescara, right? So if results go their way, both of them could settle for a draw. But if Perugia, that's if Perugia lose, but if Perugia win, if Cosenza win, and they are winning, right? Then Pescara need to get some sort of points. They need to get better than Perugia. So there's kind of, and that has an impact on the Chievo game because Chievo could settle for a draw. But if Pisa and Frosinone draw and Chievo lose, then Chievo are out of the playoffs. So, for example, if Chievo know that Pisa and Frosinone, if that game ends in a win for either team, Chievo are safe in the playoffs. But if it ends a draw, Chievo could be out if they don't get a point themselves. Right. So it's,
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of dynamics to it all. Like,
yeah, both of those games are sitting there as draws at the minute, which is the worry for us. There's nothing.
Yeah, for goals, that sort of thing. Yeah, they'd be the cager matches, like.
Yeah, but then on the other side of that, Chievo are playing Pescara. So if Pescara score, Chievo are in trouble, and Pescara need to score because it gets them out of the relegation zone. So, yeah, it's all happening.
I didn't realise. I thought the Suns playing the Wizards wasn't on until later tonight, but it's actually starting now as well. So all I have in it is Napier to score over 1.5 3-pointers. I think he scored, 2 or more in maybe 6 of his last 8 games or something like that. And he's coming up against an opposition who conceded a lot of points and conceded a lot of 3-pointers as well. So pretty confident about that. And the way this Magic game is going, they're up now by 24 points. So it should be. It's one of those things where you have a double and one is the much bigger odds on, and then you end up waiting on that. But hopefully it won't be the case. Because I'm up short on that part of it. But certainly the Magic side of it is looking decent.
Sounds good.
7 rebounds now Vucevic has, so he just needs 3 more, and he has his double-double. And it's halfway, just a little over halfway through the third quarter.
They're just kicking off now, guys. Sorry.
Good stuff. I was just going to say this might be the longest halftime I've ever seen.
Yeah, I went on to Twitter to just see if anything, there'd been an announcement about, I don't know, maybe someone had a serious injury or something and there was going to be a delay.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah, there's only all games are within 20 seconds of each other now to kick off.
Well, this Crotone Trapani game they've the first half they've come flying out of the blocks. So hopefully there's a goal in this one soon now would really set me up.
In which one, sorry?
The Trapani game.
Oh yeah, that just had the disallowed goal just before halftime.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long shot, but Trapani could just about get out of the guaranteed relegation. I mean, it's not even that long a shot. If they win and Juve Stabia and Cosenza don't win, which is, am I reading that right? Yeah. So if that game is a draw, then Trapani could get out of the relegation, guaranteed relegation into relegation playoffs. So
they need for basically.
Yeah. Crotone are not really playing for a huge amount. So the Crotone defender there just a soft enough cross into the box and he went to kind of bicycle kick it clear. He just sliced it. It ended up being a corner, but it was close to an own goal. plenty of
I
action
remember
here.
scoring one of those myself. Best goal of your career in the sense of your own net.
Portione have scored.
Oh yeah.
So my £2.5 bet, like at the minute, would be waiting on a Spezia goal.
Wow.
Really? That's it?
Now,
And how
obviously, there's
Just run through it
4
again there,
draws
guys.
in there. Right?
Just run through the legs, but I just want to hear them again. Like,
So, Venezia. Oh no, sorry, I need a Perugia goal as well. Sorry, I didn't realise that. So Venezia, Perugia draw. Enfila, Citadella draw.
Yeah.
Frosinone, Pisa draw. Chievo, Pescara draw.
Yeah.
Portione and Spezia to win.
And Pordenone have just gone 3 up. Is that what you're saying?
Portione went 2-1 up.
2-1 up, right? Yeah.
So I need a Perugia goal and a Spezia goal. Although there's been suspensions now, so Benevento has gone suspended.
Frosinone suspended.
Pisa. Yeah.
Benevento conceded 3-1 there.
I think Ascoli have got a goal back. Yeah, Ascoli have got a goal back.
P's have scored as well. That was one of my other P's.
Just as I was boasting about my £2.5 bet, the Pisa game goes against me. But again, it's still all right because I just need a Frosinone goal, like so. We'll be playing against each other, Liam,
but the way this that match going up 1-0, like so, you know what I mean. If there's any likelihood the home team are going to come back and get one as well.
Yeah, but the risk there for Frosinone now is that if Salernitana, score, they will overtake Pisa at Frosinone. So
they need to go for it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good if you're hoping for a draw anyway, right?
Yo, Gabsy.
But it's nice that, 3 minutes into the second half, there's been those goals already. So, a few more.
Yeah, so
now.
actually, as it is now, Frosinone are dropped out of the promotion playoffs. They're 9th behind Empoli, Chievo, and Cittadella. So it's very close. They're on 53 points. 54 is promotion. So it's going to be a big push now from Frosinone. Trapani are the frustration here at the minute. But if they can win their match, it's 0-0 obviously. If they can score, that's going to take them out of guaranteed relegation into potential promotion. Into playoff position. So they're not guaranteed to go down. But looking at it here, Crotone are on a massive break. Oh, awful ball. Awful ball.
In the St. Pat's game, St. Pat's Dundalk, it's 19 minutes left, but Pats have a free kick in a really, really dangerous position. They score here, this would be a massive shock if they can pull it off. And it puts a lot of pressure on because the League of Ireland's gone to a condensed season. And Shamrock Rovers, before lockdown, had a kind of a lead on the rest of the team. So if Dundalk don't get the full 3 points tonight, it would be a boost for Shamrock Rovers.
Oh, it's gone suspended in the Venezia game.
Come on, Perugia.
Please be Perugia.
Come on, Perugia.
Venezia gone to 1-10, 2-0.
Right.
2-0 Venezia. Okay. And they're going mad with the celebrations.
Down with that sort of thing.
Can you hear the music there?
That puts the final nail in my £2.5 bet.
Well, but Perugia, I mean, they're drifting towards automatic relegation here now, so they want to pull the finger out, They were in with a chance there. Let me see the score. So Perugia is gone 2-0. Well, that Trapani game is going to be the killer in my £2,600 bet. The rest of them are looking really good. Trapani and Chievo games are just killing it. I mean, that's inevitable if you pick 10 results, I suppose, but it's tough to see it.
Yeah, my goals bets could do with goals in the 2-0 nils now. They're
Yeah, 2-0 nils. So the 1.5 you've got, they're all in except for 3, and that's 1-0, 0-0, and 0-0. So 5 goals needed there. It's not ridiculous, but
Not in this league anyway.
no. Juve Stabia are giving it socks over here as well. They are. Let me check this table here. No, they are doomed actually. No, so they can't. They actually can't play for anything. So I'm surprised they're still trying so hard, but fair play to them for doing it.
Yeah, I could really do it both teams scoring in Chievo Pescara. There's a bet I did that they're really dragging it down. So
I'm going to flick over to that one now for a minute and watch it because I think it's the most crucial of them. That and Trapani, but Trapani is just upsetting me now. It's so scrappy. Tackles going in everywhere, so we'll see.
there's still hope.
So in the 440 to 1 that I did, Benevento, both teams to score, that's in. Over 2.5 in the Pordenone game, that's in. Over 2.5 in the Cittadella game, that's in. Over 3.5 in the Juve game, missing 1. Both teams to score in the Venezia game, missing the Perugia goal. So that side of it was pretty decent. Then got 2-1-0s in there for over 2.5. But then it's the over 3.5 and the both teams to score, just absolutely destroying it.
Trapani scored.
Trapani scored, yeah.
Oh, they're going crazy on the pitch, yep. Missed that goal. I was watching the Chievo Pescara damn squib. Trapani are 1-0 up here.
Well, you must be watching about 5 games at once, are you?
Yeah, I'm going boggly-eyed here now, trying to flick around between them. You see one team and you're like, oh, that's Frosinone. Oh, no, that's Chievo because they're both wearing yellow and you're not sure which match.
I don't even know which game.
That was a free kick. It's worth watching. An absolute. Oh no, scratch it. The deflection. He's celebrating like it wasn't a deflection, but it was a stinker of a deflection. The poor goalkeeper rooted to the spot. So only the single 1-0 now. That's Chievo. So yes, updating on our live stream there. As you can see that there's 4 of the 7 are up, and then the 5th one is about to go up, and then we're just missing 1 goal in one game and 2 goals in the other. So that's pretty good.
Vucevic is up to 8 rebounds now, 22 points and 8 rebounds. And yeah, I mean, Magic are shorting for this game now. They're up by 28 points, 107 to 79. So the win is in the bag.
A nice timely injury break now for Trapani after scoring that goal. They're down. So they are looking at, they could. Did they have any chance here? Let me just see this Perugian Cosenza. So Cosenza are beating Juve Stabia, if I'm reading, But if Juve Stabia come back in that game, that will get Trapani out of the relegation into the playoff relegations.
So they come back, just equalise?
Equalise, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So as it stands, Cosenza are on 46, Perugia 45 in the relegation playoffs, and Trapani on 44 in the automatic relegation. So Perugia are losing, so their points basically aren't going to change. Cosenza, if they stop winning, they'll go down to at least 44. And if they lose, they go down to 43, of course. So Trapani are, they're still alive there.
And does their goal difference help them at all? Or
it's
they need to kind of push for a few goals?
No, a few goals, but they need quite a few to change for that to have any impact. Juve Stabia are actually, because they're playing Cosenza, if Juve Stabia can get in the lead, that would put them on 44 and Cosenza down to 40. Yeah, so actually if Juve Stabia can come back and win, Cosenza will end up in the automatic relegation, and Juve Stabia will avoid it. So I was wondering why that game was why they were playing so intensively, but now it makes sense.
I think Cremonese just scored. It's 2-2 in that game.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's back. Yeah.
Is that one of your draws, Gary?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But as I said, I need Venezia.
Yeah.
Perugia to come back against Venezia. The Chievo game went suspended for ages there, but it's come back. I'm not too sure why.
There was a
Trapani
dangerous
scored
free.
another goal.
Who?
Trapani.
I'm about to see it here. Oh, it sounds like there's a bit of a crowd there.
They're probably all on the hill outside or something watching it. Like.
Yeah, up in the flats up above.
Yeah.
Nice one. Trapani is up to 2-0 now. So that game was looking dodgy for a while. It's a shame that the first half ghost goal, because that was for Crotone. He's up to 2-0 now. So we're 3.5. Oh, wow. Chievo now is looking like the real killer here. Got both teams to score in that, but they're making some substitutions. The particularly dapper Pescara coach here now is giving some final words of advice. So this is not mine is not looking too bad now.
What you need?
So I need 2 goals in the Chievo game, 1 each. I need any 2 goals in the Frosinone game. I need 2 goals in Trapani game. Perugia to score and 2 goals in the Spezia game. So it's a lot of goals, but for a 442-1, it's
Yeah, and
not
with
too bad.
30 minutes plus to go.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs already in that bit. So again, we've said it every week. You put your over 3.5. So if you got Benevento and Cittadella, you'd be laughing already. You know, it's just so hard to pick them.
I feel like we could have just done a host of bets just on that game alone.
Yeah.
Benevento.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Benevento to win and both teams to score. Benevento to win and over 3.5 goals.
Yeah. Well, Benevento both teams to score must have been about 10-1. A 4-1 team, you know, to win anyway. So yeah, because both teams to score was nearly even money. So Benevento to win and both teams to score would have been 10-1, I'd say. Should have just lumped on that.
I know, Gary, you did over 1.5 and everything, as well as PSG to win and both teams to score. Was that it? But did either you do a bet just on the over 1.5s?
Yeah, so I did it. I did 10 of the games to be over 1.5. Sorry, 7 of the games to be over 1.5 for a tenner to pay 70. So
Pay 70.
Yeah, 7-1. So I missed the Cittadella game. That had already had 2 goals by the time I got the bet on.
Oh, really?
So it is, by my reckoning, so Chievo Pescara 0-0, Frosinone Pisa 1-0, and then the other 5 legs of 1.
Chievo just had a corner there with a couple of shots on the back. Just a shot on target and then off target, and they're still on the attack.
Oh, God. You want to see the final shot. The ball bounced out of the box, and I have to hope this guy's a defender. The ball just bounced up for him. It's like when you see those Gaelic footballers and they want to kick it as high over the bar as possible to emphasise that they scored a point. This thing is probably still going up. Shameful. What are the stats like in that match, actually?
In the Chievo game, is it?
Yeah.
They've been dominating. They've 11 shots with 3 on target. Pescara just have 2 shots with 1 on target.
Well, that Chievo, the one you said that came from the corner, it was a great shot and cleared off the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Venezia Perugia game here, so I could really do with a Perugia goal.
Yeah.
But, Venezia are just all over them, it seems.
Yeah, Perugia, it's strange. Like, it's like they're really playing for their livelihoods here, you know. Venezia have nothing to play for. They're not getting promoted. They're not getting relegated. They're just stuck mid-table. But yeah, Perugia, it's not clicking for them.
Hopefully they get a goal soon.
Starting to get dirty in the Juve Stabia Cosenza game. Players getting bundled over off the ball and that type of carry on. Trapani are really going for it.
Perugia actually have a decent attack here now. Go on, score. Score.
Ah. They're so open to the counter attack.
Down now, like after having 2 good chances to score.
Missed.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, in my big goals, but it's both teams to score in that, so I'd like it to go 2-1 before anything else.
They're starting to come back into it now, though. So there's.
Because when you realize, that's the thing with so much of sport is mentality. But 2-0 down is not the end of the world. Just calm it down and just don't throw it away, because if you lose the head, you're getting relegated, and that's it. And as the further you go down the league tables, like the drop off is steeper and steeper. And I'm not sure there's too many all pro teams in the Serie C. So just 2 goals and that's it. You're going to avoid automatic relegation, and your fate is back in your own hands again. It's heating up a bit in the Chievo game, but there's not goal mouth action yet, though.
PSG have gone to 6-5.
They're still dominating the stats. They were kind of looking on top of that match just going into half time. I'm not sure how they've done since then. Yeah, I mean, Leon haven't had a shot on target, but I kind of feel it's one of those games. This could just be 0-0 after 90 minutes. PSG scrape it in extra time, or
PSG. Never heard that slip of the tongue before. I like it.
That's what they would call themselves, isn't
Paris Saint-Germain.
Is J not G in French? Huh?
And there's a goal in Perugia, is there? I don't know who it's for. Is it 3-0? Bastards.
Oh, they're going mental. Absolutely mental. They're taking such joy in this as well. Peru, Venezia. There must be a little rivalry, because they are, the celebrations are absolutely ecstatic here for putting the final nail in the coffin for somebody else's relegation, while you have.
Oh, in fairness, I'd be celebrating that goal as well.
Yeah, it's a rocket. It's a tough one down, though, because we got both teams to score. In the big one. Cosenza. What's going on here? The manager's walking away. Did he get a red card? Just flick back on, and the manager's walking back towards the tunnel. Now he's jogging. Yeah. Might be the lamest little jog I've ever seen.
Just like this box game, I'll fully intend on being asleep. It's on at 20-12. It's starting, so the way the American sport goes, that'll be going on till about 2 or 3 in the morning. But Giannis, the last year's NBA MVP and odds-on favourite to be this year's MVP. I'm just going to look up for him in the player performance market, see if there's any decent odds on him along with the Bucks win. They're not massive favourites because they're playing, the Celtics. The Celtics were third, but they should still win. Just going to see if there's any odds. I'll let you know.
Juve Stabia are really starting to play it around nicely here, so they're 12-1. I mean, they're only a goal down. The draw is 3-1, but this game could. I just can't see them giving up in this game, because if they take points, they'll be taking points directly off Cosenza, who are their direct rivals for relegation. So, It's going to be one I'm going to keep an eye on now for the next 20 minutes or so. Trapani. Unfortunately, the Trapani game has kind of calmed down. Starting to make the substitutions now. Chievo, Pescara as well. So Pescara have held their own for 66 minutes and they're 4-1 to win. Chievo just drifted out to 6-4 now. But
I see Pescara as 9-1 to win in Paddy Power.
really, maybe the odds haven't updated. Let me refresh my page here. Actually, I see. Yeah, they've got 10-1 now in Betfair. Chievo 23-10. Yeah, my odds must have just been not updated. Strange one. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating now the way the goals have gone. Or just the distribution has not been what we wanted. Like we said last week, there's probably going to be what's the total goals at the minute? For like 30 goals, and we just have that 1-0 Chievo Pescara absolutely destroying any of the bets.
Yeah, there's a stretcher coming on now as well. The only thing I'll say is like Pescara games do more often than not have. Oh, Perugia scored. Go on, Perugia.
Have they? I just turned it off.
Yeah, Perugia scored.
So that's 2-1 now.
Yeah, no, 3-1.
3-1. Oh yeah, so both teams have scored
it's
here.
Both teams are scoring, yeah.
Yeah. So 2 goals in Spezia, 2 goals in Pisa, 2 goals in Trapani, and 2 goals in Chievo. So it's 8 goals in half an hour across 4 games. But for £2,500, it's not been in worse situations.
$5 or a tenner?
Yeah, $5 on it, 443 to 1. And then Jennings Bet give you a 20% bonus if you got that many legs. So it should be 2,200 at the odds of 443. But they give you a 4.
Sorry, what are you waiting on? Sorry.
So I've got both teams to score in the Chievo match. That's 0-0, right? I've got over 2.5 in the Pisa match, and that's 1-0. I've got over 3.5 in Trapani, and that's 2-0. So I need 2 goals there as well. And over 2.5 in Spezia, and that's 2-0. So those 4 games need 2 goals each. And then the Benevento, Pordenone, Cittadella, Perugia, and Juve Stabia games have all come in. So, I mean, it's not it's still quite a bit to go, and probably quite unlikely to happen at this stage. But as sort of like we said,
yeah, I mean, there's an interest there. So
yeah, but if you include the bonus, it's 500 to 1. And it's still relatively alive at half an hour or 25 minutes to go.
Definitely still on, yeah. For some reason, they've taken a rebound off Vucevic here. He's back down to 7. It was showing him as 8 for a while. They do that. It actually happens quite a bit on the official NBA stats. I think they just constantly they're reviewing exactly what went on because there's who got their fingers tips onto the ball first, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it can be frustrating when you think you're on course. He's back on 7 rebounds now. It's into the final quarter, so it's not looking as solid as it was there. But hopefully it's still come good. It's just need another 3 rebounds from our fight. It should still happen. But it's a bit of a worry now. When he was sitting on 8 with a full quarter to go, it was looking decent. Looking a lot more comfortable. And yeah, I didn't find anything decent on Janice. I think they're 1-2 to win, and for them to win and him to score double, it's 4-6. It's only a marginal improvement. But I think I might go with Chris Middleton to score 20 points. And the Bucks to win. Middleton was on very good form coming in just before the lockdown. I mean, all season really. He's averaged 21 points per game. The last game before the lockdown, he scored 39 points, so 17-10 for him for the Bucks to win and him to score 20 seems like a decent enough bet.
Yeah.
Do it at midnight. Hopefully, wake up with a win.
Mm-hmm. Kievo game is just gone. If Frosinone could come back, there might be pressure on Kievo, but the way it's kind of gone, they're looking safe enough. So,
Oh my God. Frosinone just missed a fucking sitter at the back post there. The striker, like, so ball was coming in from the right hand side, and the striker thought that the defender was going to get to it, so he didn't really go for the ball, and then the defender totally missed the header. And by the time the striker went to it, he just missed the ball. But any contact on it, and it's in the back of the net, he's like 3 yards out.
And that game would actually spark the other. I just said Frosinone could score, it would inspire Kievo, would light a fire underneath them. Those are the breaks that if you don't get them, it can just be a bit hard.
They're gone to the cooling break now, so let's hope for a big push from them for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than 20 minutes. With added time, there'll be 20 minutes left in each of these games, but 2 goals, you need to have, you don't want to be hoping for 2 injury time goals. It would be nice to get them up a little bit earlier. Oh, what a lovely cheeky free from Cosenza to go 3-1 up. So they have basically guaranteed. Somersault's on the pitch. They've basically guaranteed their survival there. Cosenza, or their playoff, promotion, relegation playoffs as opposed to direct relegation. It was a free halfway between the corner, the box, and the corner. And actually, no, that's not quite true. It was actually on the sideline, about 6 yards out, and he lined up like a big cross, and then they just played it hard along the ground into the middle of the box. One player rolled it behind him, and then the centre forward just side-footed it in. It was definitely a pre-planned move. So 3-1 there. So that's Juve Stabia looking like they're going down. They're going straight down. So that's that one.
Still nothing going on in this PSG game by the look of it. Were you watching a bit of that, Gary?
Yeah, I was. I don't have it up now, but I'm actually gonna get it. I was watching the end of the Dundalk game. It finished 0-0. So I'm gonna flick over now to.
Yeah, Kievo are on top here against Pescara, but as you'd expect, considering the table, they're taking no real chances. They're kind of just waiting, tapping it around, hoping to create some space. So it's a bit not like your typical Serie B games. Go cross into the box. Oh, keeper's got it. So
just to call out as well, I'm actually on Paddy Power here where I'm streaming the games. And in the horse racing, they're giving a free £5 bet. So as we said the other day, they seem to have that out a lot, but just log on to their website and claim their free bet. It's a good promotion. Sorry, that's for tomorrow's horse racing.
Any race or is it Goodwood?
It's Goodwood. I think it's the 225 at Goodwood. So this is an injury break in PSG now.
I'm just flicking through the bets that we have scrolling on screen, Gary. The selection of goals bets that you would put on, and it's quite unfortunate the Kievo game has gone the way it's gone because that's going to let them all down.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of the other ones that are actually nearly up otherwise.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Been the case a few times with this Serie B, hasn't it? Just 1-0 all, just screwing everything. Like looking down that list, the order I'm seeing it, like 3 of the first 4 games have 4 goals in them.
We said it last week. It's definitely a strategy we might pursue next season. Is do sort of tricksies and lucky 15s and those types of bets.
Yeah,
on goals. Yeah, but do extra goals. So don't do over 1.5s. Do over 3.5, which you're getting.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you've like 5 out of the 9 games have 4 goals in them.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But also, yeah, I mean, consistently happening.
Yeah. A lot of injury time in the Kievo game. A lot of players staying down and stuff now. So
Both sides there are happy with the draw, right?
the way it stands now, yeah, Frosinone could score.
Yeah, it'll trigger a lot of other things to.
If Frosinone win, Chievo, I think, could miss out on promotion.
Oh, that game is suspended now.
It's suspended.
It was an only Pisa game.
Let me see.
Penalty, is it? Penalty for Frosinone.
It's suspended with Frosinone on the attack anyway.
So this is what we want.
Is it? Oh, it is a penalty, yeah.
Yeah. The guy is making an absolute meal of his storyline on the ground.
The ref gives him now. Well, I can see the guy walking up to the penalty spot.
No, it's been given, yeah.
Yeah. The ref just was doing a weird thing with his hand. It's no way it's a penalty, is it? Oh, like... It's soft, like the defender gets the ball and then kicks your man, so I'm happy that it's been given because I need a Frosinone goal. Come on, Froz. And as you said, like this could make the other game.
Yeah, once Chievo catch wind of this. Yeah. He's standing straight in line with the ball. Never trust him.
He looks like he's just going to blast it. Look at his run.
Goal. Okay, so that's...
Who is that screwing now in the Chievo match? Who needs to do something now?
Chievo, at the moment, if I understand this right, not yet, but Frosinone are on 53. Empoli are on 54, Chievo are on 54, and Citadel are on 56. So, yeah, Empoli are now... So, Chievo and Empoli are just 1 point ahead of Frosinone. So, Empoli are winning. So, yeah, so... I mean, Chievo could just... They could be overtaken if they... Would they still be 8th, actually, even if they don't? Yeah, so now it's an interesting one for Chievo. Actually, no, they would need to lose that match if I'm reading this right. Yeah. So Frosinone have gone 7th. Pisa... What's the score of the Pisa game? Oh, well, that's it, Frosinone. Yeah. Yeah, so Salernitana score and Chievo don't. Chievo don't get promoted.
Say that once more.
If Salernitana score, and Chievo don't,
okay,
Salernitana will get the promotion playoffs and Chievo won't.
So they don't need anything yet, but they're in risk now.
They're at serious risk, yeah.
And I mean,
or if they concede, by the way, they'll be out as well.
Yeah.
So it's Empoli, Frosinone, Chievo, and Salernitana are on 54, 54, 54, 53. So there's 5 teams within 1 point of each other. And Chievo are at the bottom of those 5 who are still in the promotion playoff places. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to be in that that pressure spot.
We need a quick goal in this Chievo game.
Yeah.
So there's just over 10 minutes left in PSG Lyon. Or PSG have gone to over 2-1, so they're 21-10 now.
Does that go straight to extra time, or does it go to a replay or a second leg or anything?
It's in Parc des Princes, so I think it could go to a second leg, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. Whether they just always hosted in Parc des Princes or what the story is.
I don't see anything about method of victory or anything. Or is it a final?
This is the final, guys. Yeah.
It is the final, is it? Yeah.
But I know sometimes in those isn't it the Copa del Rey has a 2-legged final?
Yeah, the cop of the right does, yeah. Always reminds me of that ridiculous Gareth Bale goal where he ran out off the side of
Yeah,
the pitch.
yeah. Some acceleration, like.
Pescara, I'm sorry, Kievo would have had a half chance there. A dangerous free here for Pescara. This is exactly what we want now.
But
Because
it has opened up a bit since the Frosinone goal went in.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how professional teams do it, but surely they'd have some communication with the manager, like if every.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So in the 7 legs that I did for over 1.5, and Gary, in your 8 legs over 1.5, they're all in except the Kievo game.
Yeah, I went for the greed with PSG Leon. That's let me down. So.
Yeah, you need 3 goals in PSG Lyon.
Yeah.
Maybe what you'd be wanting there is, as a gambler and not a Leon fan, is a Leon goal and then force PSG to come at them.
Yeah. I've been cheering that on since half time, though. That's the problem.
A big trip in the box in the Trapani game, but they didn't even really call for a penalty, and they certainly weren't given one. Oh, a bit of skill. Could be something here for Trapani. Oh, well cleared. No.
Jeez, Pescara took that free short instead of going into the.
Silly.
Well, they're in a good attack now.
He's offside, I'd say. Across goal. Oh, he waited. I think it bounced away from him, really. Maybe Pescara can smell blood as well, because they're really putting the pressure on a bit as well. Actually, the way the games have gone, Pescara now know that if they concede, they'll be in the relegation zone as well. And they're not at the minute. So that's kind of maybe what's spurring them on a bit.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of just make things cagey too? If both teams are in trouble, if they concede, they just at all costs don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But if one of them does score, it's going to set it, they'll have to go for it, obviously.
What we actually want overall is a Salah and Tierna goal, which will put Kievo out of the promotion.
Yeah.
Which will force them to attack. It's a Kievo corner here now, so. Wonder how far ahead the odds are to the bookies live stream. Oh, no.
Oh, I'd say there's a good 30, 40 second lag anyway, in my experience.
All right. It's an unbelievable save there from the Pescara goalie. Unbelievable. Diving left, and then the ball went right, and he lifted his leg up and kind of hooked it off the line. Yeah, an absolute brilliant save. But not that we wanted, but credit where it's due. Yeah, so that Kievo Pescara game is killing I will have 70 quid if they both score. There's still a lot of goals needed for the big bet, though. Unfortunately. 10 minutes, not even, 5 minutes left in reality?
Jeez, it doesn't look like this Vucevic lad is coming back on the court at all.
Leon are putting pressure on here. They're 6-1 to win. To answer your questions, that it is tonight, but it's settled because there's a to win the cup market.
Right.
Yeah.
So the extra time penalties could be on the way. Yeah, they usually have odds of method of victory or whatever, I just don't see it. Yeah, maybe it just isn't there.
Probably in like all markets or something, is it?
Well, I'm only looking on Bet365. I've seen it on the exchange in Betfair, so maybe that's where it is. Yeah.
Leon have a good chance here. Dembele. Save keeper. Leon probably, from what I've seen, apart from that shot that I said from the guy Ghana Gay, they probably had the best chances.
Yeah. This Kievo game is just drifting towards nothingness here, unfortunately. A lot of play acting in the middle of the field, but neither of them really taking any chances.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, we need goals elsewhere for them to be forced.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting too late for that. I wonder how quickly, it'll be communicated across.
I'd say instantly.
Surely there's somebody just watching it live,
A dangerous free now for Kievo, I think. Absolute dive, though.
Yeah, it was a dive.
Yeah, you seen that, yeah. God, if this leads to a goal that sends Pescara down, it'll be tragic. Because Pescara, if I'm looking at this right, if they go down to 45 points, they'll only be outside.
The goal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Goal.
How often does that happen?
Gabo,
yeah.
But does that give you any hope? I mean,
if there's a second goal in this game, I'll win 70 quid. Yeah. The Pescara manager is very unimpressed here, and rightly so, because
there was never a free kick.
No. Wait for the table to update here now, but they are down in the relegation playoffs now.
I actually like Pescara, so I'm a bit disappointed with that. That actually brings one of my bets back into play. So if Pescara can get an equaliser, I get a bet up, because I had both teams to score Aka, and all the other ones are in.
You didn't do every team, obviously, then, because Crotone are.
No, I didn't. Ascoli, Benevento, Cremonese, Pordenone, Frosinone, Pisa, Salentina, Spezia, Venezia, Perugia, and Entella, Cittadella with this game. So all of those are up.
What does that pay? That sounds like a juicy one.
It's 60, 70 something to 1, 71 to 1, 72 to 1.
Nice.
So
what do you need on it, Gary? What's left? Just
a goal.
That'd be nice. Salentina just conceded. Spezia scored.
Okay, so Spezia. Well, they were always safe, really, Spezia. But what's that done here? So this is.
Geez, I'd love to see 5 or 6 minutes go up here now.
Yeah, I know.
Because as you said, Liam, the fact that it was a shocking decision as well, it gives them extra motivation.
Yeah. And actually, that had put. So Trapani had gotten themselves out of the guaranteed relegation zone, and they're back in it now. So I don't know if that's going to spur them on. They need points dropped elsewhere in reality, but 2 goals in that game is a very, very long shot, considering we're into injury time and there's 5 minutes only. But
there's 6 minutes in Pescara.
Yeah, it's all Kievo so far, though. Oh, sorry.
Pescara on the attack here.
Yeah, sorry, no. Go cross.
Goal.
No, awful cross. He never got it back around. It just kept drifting with his running momentum.
Yeah. So the draw is 13 to 1, so it's about a 13 to 1 chance for the goal.
Yeah.
But they might get one chance,
Yeah.
Did you see how much injury time there's going to be?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Class.
We're through one of those already, though.
Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah. So any goal suits you, LB, but Gary, you need Pescara to score.
My big odds one has come unbelievably close. like 1 goal in the Kievo game here needed. Sorry, both teams to score in this game, so that's 1 goal short. Any goal in the Frosinone game, and the 2 goals in the Crotone game. That's it.
Pescara are attacking well here now. Oh no, don't do that. They were attacking well.
They were, yeah.
The ball guy had a brain fart. Right, come on, the lads now. I think I got one more chance. So what are we at? We're
my clock is 92:15.
Yeah, I'm the same. And I'd say the bookies are about maybe 40 seconds ahead, so it's probably 3 minutes left. Ref of a free there. Ref of a free there. That was never a free. Come on.
I don't even see what the foul was. Yeah.
He lost control of it, and I think your man did kind of kick him. But
I went through
it was
a
a
bit.
free. I think it was a free. Yeah.
Yeah, take it anyway, considering the circumstances.
Come on now, Pescara.
So they like throwing their keeper and all up now at this
Not
stage.
quite.
Not quite, but like the last time they had a free kick in this position, they played it short. So I assume they're not going to do that again. As I'm talking, PSG have a corner in the last minute in that game as well. Last minute regular time.
Into the box. Headed it back across the box, but it went nowhere. Dangerous break here, is there?
You're like a split back in the head of LB. Come on.
Good. Back heel. Right, this is a perfect opportunity to cross. Deflected, handball. No, ref not giving it.
Give it, ref.
Skied it. They're going mad. The ref is not having it. Gone to the linesman here.
Oh, it's not the linesman. Come on.
No.
Why the fuck won't the line not give it? Like,
it's gone suspended here. It wasn't a handball at all. What was it? I don't know.
It was a handball. It was definitely a handball.
Gone suspended now permanently here, so too late. Tackles are going in anyway. That's what you want to see.
I kind of prefer that because when it wasn't suspended, you kind of know there was nothing happening. Whereas at least now you have the anticipation of the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Like
this is the draw. Like I like Pescara as a team, so I hope that they do score, and I want to obviously win my bet as well. But it's the shit thing about teams playing for draws. It's like they had played for the victory. Our bets probably would have been up, and they probably wouldn't have been in this position. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad how close these are. These teams between, Trapani on 44 points, guaranteed relegation, and then Cosenza on 46, completely safe, with Perugia and Pescara in between them. Ascoli, same points. Like, it's mad how close it is. And then in the promotions, it's the same thing. I think we're going to take this free or what? Here we go. I thought it was a replay. It was a good break. Don't go offside.
Ref, free kick.
Yeah, he's
a free
giving
kick.
it.
This
is going to be this is going to be the keeper up, lads. Surely.
Yeah, it has to be.
This is around halfway, is it? They're just going to welly it into the box.
But there's 15 seconds left. They're halfway between the 18-yard box and the halfway line. So whatever that would be, 40 yards out. And
gonna launch it.
Oh shit! Free kick. Oh god! Is it a corner?
Full time.
Give it a goal kick. Go over.
Yeah, full time. Fuck. Oh, we got a good shout out of it anyway.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
1 goal short of it in 2 bets.
70-1, like.
Very, very close. Very close.
Good attempt, though. Like, getting to the 90th minute out of it is good. So, yeah, well played, lads.
Four
PSG Lyon
goals.
looks like, huh?
4 goals short of the 500 to 1 shot as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It would be unreal.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for that league to start up again.
Oh yeah.
No, but it's still the playoffs.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
playoffs. There's what is that? 6 teams in the promotion playoff spots, and then 2 in the relegation playoff spots. It's mad how close it is. Like, you've got Perugia getting relegated with 12 wins, and Frosinone getting promoted on 14 wins. It's mad how close it is.
Say that again?
So Perugia have had 12 wins.
They're getting relegated.
Yeah, and Frosinone have had 14 wins, and they're getting promoted.
They just don't draw games, like.
Yeah. Wow. Oh well, look, it was an exciting spell anyway.
Yeah, it was. It was good, lads.
Pretty close.
We got a good run out of it. So I'm very happy.
It's a moral victory when you get within 1 goal.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll do a quick rundown. Probably myself and Liam tomorrow. So anybody who's watching, about 10 a.m. Liam.
Yeah.
So we'll be on for a quick rundown. On that, I'll give the horses that I've picked out. As I said, probably the best bet I have tomorrow so far is Call Me Ginger in the first race. He's been back in for 7-1 now. So I'm going to go through that race again because 7-1 might not offer great value in a race so open. I'll give you guys the lowdown tomorrow. It'll be a quick 10-minute show, so 10 o'clock, tune in, and hopefully we'll make a bit of money for ourselves.
And that final whistle came at an appropriate time there, so we'll wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Finished. All right, lads.
Sickening.
Oh, that was an absolute sickener.
Liam,
What?
see that we got that other bet in though?
No, I didn't. Which one?
So the bet I put on. So
Did you text? I've had about 500 texts.
Yeah, so lads, we're in a group with the fella you don't like.
Is it, sorry?